Saturday, October 10th, 2020. And we're going to be asking Spirit for a card of the day, a focus of intention. And again, this is not a reading. A reading is an intimate discussion between you and the spiritual advisor of your choice, hopefully led by your intuition. Your intuition is your superpower. Everyone's born intuitive. Not everyone listens to their intuition. And with that being said, this is just a focus of intention for the next 24 to 48 hours because I do not work on Sundays. Sundays is my day of Sabbath, my day that I rest with my spirit and spirit. And we're going to be doing some things differently in the near future. And when we make those changes, it's just you have to adjust and shift and keep moving forward. I don't know who needed to hear that, but somebody needed to hear that. And I haven't even pulled the card of the day yet. I don't pull the card. Forgive me because I just got corrected. I don't pull the card of the day. They usually throw them out. And whatever's being thrown out, that's what's going to happen. And it's not about doing things in a different way. It's about doing things in a different mindset. And yes, and sometimes when you have a different mindset, you do things in a different way. I don't know who needs it, but somebody needs it. So anyway, so let's get to it. So the card of the day is going to be coming from, just like that. The card of the day is going to be coming from, again, from the Okana Oracle deck. And there we go. Wow. Okay. So we have two cards that fell out. It's called Vex and Flare. And Vex says there is fire within and fire without. And then the flare says when the lightning flashes, it touches sky and earth. So let's see what these cards have to say. The Vex is going to be first. And this is in which section? Vex. Vex is, wow, Vex and Flare are both in the fire element section. So I like that because, as you know, I am a triple fire sign. Hello, how you doing? Okay, so Vex says there is fire within and fire without. The shadow element is harboring jealousy or comparing oneself to others. Hello, how you doing? So again, doing things in a different way. Stop looking what everybody else got and try to mimic that, okay? Comparison is the thief of joy, whether it's comparing your material success, perceived spiritual alignment, social popularity, how many followers you got, how much money in the bank you got, your talent, or etc. This card suggests that you or someone you may fall prey to comparing oneself to others in a way that is not motivational, but instead really harmful. You can see all the beautiful pictures on social media, but you have no idea what goes on behind closed doors when that camera is not rolling. While it's not easy to admit oneself when they feel jealous, it is present when the feeling of sadness or anger rear their heads and the announcement that others are receiving the good fortune that one may believe they deserve. Basically, you're being jealous of other people because you think, oh, I deserve that. Well, have you done the work? Let's be honest here. Have you been working on yourself? Have you been loving yourself? Have you been making yourself the priority? Have you been focusing on you and changing your mindset to do things in a new and a different way because you keep doing things in the same exact way, expecting a different result? Let's be honest here. A lot of you have not. You guys are still sitting in your setback. Ooh. Thank you, Spirit. You guys are sitting in your setbacks. Basically, you keep sitting in what you haven't done and you keep focusing that and say, you keep sitting in that trauma. You keep sitting in that pain. You keep sitting in that situation. You keep sitting in a relationship. You keep sitting in a dead-end job. You keep sitting in your setback and then you settle in your setback. And because you're settling in your setback, you live in the land of, okay, this is the way it is. What? And comparison and jealousy is a part of that. Ooh. All right now, I'm just saying. Here we go. This can manifest itself as downplaying the good news people share, riding the coattails of your best friend's success to claim a piece of the pie, or visibly shutting down when good things happen to others. Jealousy is as common as human emotion as anything else, and ignoring its existence doesn't hide its manifestations in everyday life. Because if you are jealous, it's going to rear its ugly head in your life. This card could be asking you, how has the negative emotions that bubble up from comparison manifested in your actions or your negative self-image? Literally, you end up sitting in your setback, settling in your setback, living in the land. Okay, this is the way it is. Fuck out of here. How has comparison actually affected your relationships? You're comparing marriages, you compare relationships from social media? Have you not seen the drama that fucking go? You know what? Let's not even go there. So there you go. That's Vex. What's that? There was a saying back in the day, like, it was a meme. It was a meme back in the day. It's like, oh, jealousy is a disease. Get well soon, bitch. Stop being jealous. And I'm not calling you a bitch, but I'm just saying, it is a spirit. It's a sickness. It's an illness. It's a disease. It can turn into a disease. And you coveting and wanting to do what everybody else is doing and copying what their path is doesn't really help you. It hurts you. So that's Vex. And then Flare says this. When the lightning sky flashes, it touches sky and earth. The shadow element says experience emotional outbursts and perhaps even taking things out on others. So these two cards are really pointing out the negative aspect or the darker side of things. Stop being jealous. Be honest with yourself. Are you comparing your hairstyle to somebody else? Are you comparing your products to somebody else? Are you comparing your services to somebody else? Are you comparing your career to somebody else? Are you comparing your education to somebody else? Are you comparing your parenting to somebody else? Are you comparing your emotional growth to somebody else? Are you comparing your identity? Thank you. Are you comparing your identity to somebody else? And then it says Flare, like, you're busting out and taking things out on other people because you mad, because you still upset, because you're not where you want to be, because you keep sitting in that setback. You keep settling in that setback, and you keep thinking, okay, this is the way it is. Instead of changing it, instead of doing the fucking internal work and maintaining your spiritual and energetic health on a consistent basis and making it about you. And yes, some of you may not be ready for this shift, but no, for you to evolve and grow, you have to learn some things, integrate those things, educate yourself some things, and move from those things. And if you're not ready to do that, that's okay too, but you gotta be honest. But stop being jealous about what other people got, because you have no fucking idea how I got here and what the fuck I had to go through, how much discipline, how much sacrifice, how much blood, literally blood, sweat, and tears I had to go through and deal with to get to this point in my life. So many of you ask me, oh, Vida, how is it you don't even have 10,000 followers on Instagram and you always book 2 to 3 months in advance? Because I've done the fucking work. It has nothing to do with my numbers. It has to do with my dedication, that I'm willing to see things differently, that I'm not willing to settle in my pain and my trauma and my past, because all it did was teach me something. When I was taught something, I then integrated it. And when I integrated it, I was able to educate my community about it. Those are people of like mind and like spirit who are attracted to me and whose spirit brought to me. And I'm not saying that you can't do it either. You can, but you don't have to do it exactly the way I do it. I'm here to help you evolve. I'm here to help your soul evolve. I'm here to help your life evolve if you choose that I'm the spiritual advisor practitioner for you. But the Flare card says an integral part of emotional maturity is being able to acknowledge what we feel and express ourselves in an appropriate way. As long as you're honest with yourself and honest with everybody else, and you know what, you're not hurting yourself. Who gives a shit if they don't like what the fuck you're going through? Your emotional truth is yours, and no one can take that away from you. They may not like it. They may not understand it. They may not even comprehend what the fuck you're feeling, but it's your truth and they have to respect it. But because people don't pay attention to you like you want to, doesn't give you the right to go off and blame shit on other people. Yeah, some other people may have caused you pain, and human beings are always hurting other human beings, but it's the way you go through it and how you control what you go through and react to what the fuck happened to you. And I'm not dismissing pain, and I'm not dismissing trauma. I've been there and I've done it. For those who've been following me for a while, you know my personal story. It's not easy. And it's a lot of abuse, a lot of trauma, a lot of sorrow, suicide attempts, death, rape, domestic violence. I can go on and on. Abandonment, rejection. We can go in. I'm not here to compare my story with that. We've all gone through our own trauma. We've all gone through our own pain. But it's saying excusing ourselves to be alone or be with our most trusted friends to express ourselves in a safe way is vastly underused, which is why compartmentalizing stress, frustration, and anger seem to be nearly impossible in the moment. This card is acknowledging that you or someone you know may struggle with expressing intense emotions in a way that is fair to you or them, but also fair to those around you who are either happy to give the space that is required or who want to be a confidant. Flare, as in temper flare, is suggesting that there also may be a struggle with taking said intense emotions out on people and failing to realize that others are not responsible for the way you feel and in the same route trying to bring down others when you feel that it's not only unfair to them, but it's also unfair to the interpersonal relationship health in the long run. Basically, you need to understand, you need to stop being jealous of what everybody else got. Your healing is not going to be the same timeline, the same intensity, the same knowledge, the same education, the same tools as anybody else's healing or even my healing. Everybody's path is different, but the flare card is saying you taking it out on other people is not healthy either. You have to accept responsibility for what has happened to you, and you can't unhappen it. You can't unhappen what has occurred, but you can learn from the past or stay stuck there. The choice is up to you. I hope I'll put some things in perspective. If this does not apply, then let this motherfucker fly. It's that simple. I don't resonate with everybody. Everybody doesn't resonate with me. But I am grateful for my community. I am grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for every time I get to work with one of you. I'm grateful that everyone who works with me gets what they need. It's safe for you to create richness in all areas of your life, whether it's emotional richness, whether it's mental richness, whether it's nutritional richness, whether it's energetic richness. It is safe for you to create richness in all areas of your life. It is safe for you to be a rich, wealthy, healthy woman or man or whatever label you identify with. You're allowed to be great, but don't sit in your setback. Don't settle in your setback, and don't live in the land of okay, this is the way it is. No, do better with yourself, but be honest. Am I being jealous of other people? Am I taking my shit out on other people? I've done it. I've been jealous so many times. I've been fucked up so many times, and I've taken out my anger on so many people. And usually it's the people that are closest to me that have hurt because of it. And I've had to make amends several times throughout this life, and continue to do so at times, because I have to get my shit together, and I am a work in progress. I'm still a student of the universe. I'm student of the ancestors. I'm student of my belief systems. I'm student from my elders. I'm student from my spirit guides. I'm a student from my archangels, my guardian angels, my creator. I'm a student of the deities. I'm a student of the ascended masters. I'm a student of the power animals. I'm a student of the elements. I'm a student of the stars, the planets, the sun, the moon, all of that. I'm still a student, and so are you. I'm not going to know it all, but I will learn something new every day, and that's what I strive for. If you like to work with me, please follow your intuition working with any spiritual advisor, even if that means you do not work with me. Your intuition will guide you to who, what, when, where, and how to work with those spiritual advisors and practitioners. Thank you for fucking with me. I love your support so much. The Almighty Pineapple LLC is trademarked, copyrighted, and registered in several different classifications with the United States government. Any duplication of my content or video without my permission is subject to legal recourse, is guided by my legal team. I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all Monday.